your before swing from the face on view before we implemented any changes. So again, when I talked about the whole idea of turning opposed to swaying off the ball, and again, we have an LPGA Pro on the right here. So if we take a look here, again, this is the before swing. So let's look at the amount of shoulder turn. So we'll call that, maybe 50 degrees. And we look at the LPGA Pro. I mean, she's at 90 or more, right? Now, again, the topic of flexibility came up at what point or another. Now, you don't have to make an immense turn. It's more about doing it correctly versus how much you do it. So that would be one recommendation, which again, the aftermath, you'll see a better turn for sure. And then, we talk about the left arm bending. So why is that happening? Why is the left arm bending? Well, one of the reasons is if your swing is not wide enough. So I call this width. If you see the width of the LPGA player, so her right arm is swinging far enough way away from the body. So the closer the hands are to your side, the more likely that left arm will be to buckle, because you can't keep the left arm straight when you're narrow. So you want to just create a wider swing with more turn. Left foot, heels lifting up a little bit. Like to see the feet a little more stable, right? If this was, again, one of the first swings you made. And again, I was marking the hips just to show you that, ideally when we're making that pivot, both feet should remain in contact with the ground. And you're doing a good job. I will say this, you're doing a good job of shifting your weight in the downswing. So that's good news to see that weight transfer. Good setup position. Again, this is good here. The club face looks square. So let's go look though at the aftermath of the next swing. All right, now if we take a look here, check out how much better your shoulders are turning. So before you were somewhere at 50 degrees of shoulder turn. To me, if we were to draw a line with your left shoulder through your right, I mean, you're at 90 degrees right about there, wouldn't you say? So huge improvement with the turn. Fantastic. Again, left arm, sure, it's buckling a little bit. Would you like to work on a wider swing? I didn't really get too deep into that. When, again, we talk about changes in golf, it's hard to throw 6 different things at a student. So just working on the turn and making that a habit, I think, will be important. Foot still lifting up, but, when you make a bigger turn, there's the upper shoulder turn, right? There's also the hips turning. So depending on, again, flexibility, the hips are turning more in order to get your upper body to turn more. That's just how your body is responding to this. So again, I'd like to see that foot a little more quiet and less of a movement to your right. To the camera, it looks like it's left, but obviously it's to your trail side. So I'd like to see a little bit less of a lower body sway. But again, the turn is outstanding. And then check out a contact. Sorry, let me remove the LPGA player. So as you come down in to hitting the ball, I mean, this shot went dead straight. It's right on the money. So there you are at impact. You can see you got loft, right? Ball launched in the air very nicely. Again, and we'd like to see that back foot lift up a little bit. I talked about, holding the finishing position. And Club face, only comment I would make here, setup again looks quite good. I know the camera angle might look like the ball's back in your stance, but this camera angle is not in line with that alignment stick. So setup looks good. Maybe I'd like to see your grip again, just because if you look at the position of this club face, I'll circle it here. It's a little bit shut, but you seem to square the club face up prior to hitting the ball, which is pretty neat. So ideally, I mean, I know it's a little bit of a blurred image here, but if you look at the club face, it's facing the camera with the LPGA Pro, where again, so hers is facing us where your club face is pointing that way. So again, that might compromise loft a little bit, but this is still, again, what I would consider a good golf swing, right? It was a big improvement from the first swing, and you hit a lot of good shots out there. So well done. Let's go to the down the line view. All right, so from down the line view, again, this yellow line is what I would call just a reference point for the swing plane. Your head is in the red circle. I'm going to explain that in a moment. So if we watch your takeaway, the first part of the backswing, it does go actually underneath the plane a little bit. And then, so you're parallel to the plane here. You'll notice that your head lifts up and back. So when I talked about making that angular turn, if we watch the LPGA player, so I would call this a little bit more of an angular turn. So we'll call that 45 degrees, whereas your shoulders are maybe closer to 22 degrees, right? So again, just practicing that drill where we have the club across the collarbone to turn a little bit more on an angle. So let's get rid of these lines here. Right here, it looks like you're coming in steep, but what's pretty neat here is you will do a pretty darn good job of flattening or shallowing the club. Right about here, we're back to a decent plane line to hit the ball. Now, again, I think it would be a little bit simpler if that club went directly up that yellow line and did not get vertical of it. So again, I don't want to throw too many items at you, but a lot of this I think would be resolved with just continuing to work on the turn. So again, your hands are coming out, and it's, again, it looks like it's a little bit steep, and then you're going to fight to shallow it. So there's a little bit of extra motion in here, and I think you'll be more consistent when we work on the swing plane. Let's just do one more comparison here. So again, watch this. So club is on the left, the LPGA Pro. See how the club is working directly up the line. And again, it's parallel right here, where again, you're a little bit vertical, but you'll again shallow it out. And again, obviously, right, new to the game, I didn't get too much into talking about the opening of the hips. We can continue to work on that longer term. So all in all, though, not too bad. There's that foot lifting just a little bit. I think, again, I know I mentioned it already, probably more than once, but the club across the collarbone, practicing that turn indoors. If we can get your swing a little bit wider, which was more prevalent from the face-on view, you won't have to worry about that left arm bending like that. So you can see right here, the LPGA Pro, her left arm is dead straight, where there's not as much of the bend going on there. But very nice job. A lot of good shots. And look forward to hearing what kind of clubs you get, and we'll keep working on it.